All right, everybody, what's going on? Needs more drums back in Rusinskiy for another episode of our ongoing series. And let's just jump right into it because I have an exciting episode planned for y'all today. So let's just go ahead and get started. All right, here we are back in our city. First things first, before we even get to building, I have some exciting news. As you may or may not know, I've been building a new PC, and I'm happy to say that it is built, it is done, and the footage that you are looking at right now is actually recorded on that new PC. It's been so nice to finally have, an upgrade, and my old PC did pretty well over the years. I was surprised. It always surprised me with what it was able to do. But this game is just a little bit more demanding, and especially with Skylines 2 coming out, and the fact that I had even started this channel, it was time for an upgrade for my own enjoyment as well. And I gotta say, so far it is awesome. I think this game is a little bit taxing, especially on the graphics card. It's kind of at not really at its limit, but it's definitely putting in some work. But I'm running this right now. I think I have the FPS limiter set to like 50, which I might bring it down as we get more people and the city grows. But for now, it's still running pretty smooth, and the fact that I'm able to record this as well, and the footage is all really smooth and looking good. This is awesome. I'm really pleased with this, and I kind of didn't even realize what I bought when I bought it. So nothing caught on fire, when I put it together, and everything's been running smooth so far. I just invested in a couple of more case fans to improve the cooling, but so far it hasn't been an issue. Everything's been staying pretty cool and running really smooth. So yeah, I'm really excited, and this is awesome. So I mean, just look at this. Look at these cars, man. Just so smooth. So much better than before. I am just loving this. What's this guy doing here? I should not have that police car driving around. I must have forgotten to change one of those. But anyway, yeah, I bet it's this position right here. Let's take a look. Yep, sure enough. All right, there we go. Better. So yeah, jumping into the game, I did a little bit of work off camera, just upgraded the road so we have no more dirt roads in these populated parts of the city. I still have them over here, since this area is kind of under development. I didn't really want to go ahead and upgrade those just yet. But yeah, today I'm very excited because it is time to start the third city over here somewhere. Over there. There it is. Yep. Cool. So the story behind this city is that, so we just, as you can see, we have some substantial funds, and I am willing to guess that the Committee for Strategic Natural Resource Development of Rusinskiy. I know those Soviet, old Soviet committees always have like the longest names. So just, anyway, yeah. So whatever committee that is, decided to use this city as a beginning for some major resource development. They want to really bring some industry into the region, and they discovered a ore deposit that is pretty close to where the city is kind of planned right now. So they're going to, be able to utilize the resources from that ore deposit, hopefully build some iron and steel industries around here. And hopefully that will start to bring some people into the area. So they've kind of approached us and said that, this would be a great opportunity to, really kind of build the city from scratch and, bring some people into the area, create some housing developments and, some infrastructure to really get this kind of up and running. And I know it's off the beaten path a little bit, but, and there's really no direct highway access at the moment, but in due time, I think we're going to have to bring the highway out here, not right now, obviously, but once the city gets a little more developed. But in the short term, though, we are going to need to do a couple things. So first of all, we need to locate this, check in with them and locate this ore deposit. Provide some infrastructure for developing a industrial site, which is probably going to be a little bit right now on a smaller scale, given our investment funds, and I've approached, I've talked with the committee as well, and we're talking about maybe doing if we can potentially get some sort of other kind of funding. So we might see these investment funds substantially increase in the near future, but we're still waiting on approval for that. But in the meantime, we can at least get started with some of the infrastructure. And in addition to, well, I guess speaking of infrastructure, we got to do a couple things, right? So we're going to need to pave this road here, which this is going to be kind of the main road to and from the city. I don't know if we need to pave this one since there's really no highway off-ramp yet over there. The closest one that we have is going to be this interchange over here that we built in the last couple of episodes, or the last episode. I really don't remember. It's been a minute since I played this game. I've been occupied with building the PC, so I haven't actually jumped in and built anything in a while. But yeah, so we have a couple of options there for this highway exit, and also these two are going to provide some good, a good route for people to take to get over here. But yeah, like I said, it is a little bit far away from everything. But that'll change as all of the cities grow and develop. But yeah, the second thing that I want to do related to infrastructure is we have this train line here, and I haven't done anything yet with trains. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to kind of establish a freight line going into the city as well as a passenger line, because what I want to do, I'm not going to focus on trains this episode, and I might not even get to this train line in this episode, but what I want to do, and just kind of in the back of my mind for the near future, I want to think of a way to connect all of these cities together via rail. And I'm thinking I could probably just branch this line out and then kind of have it follow this road here for now, and just kind of we can start building maybe a train station, a bigger train station in this city, a pretty big one in this city once we get out over this way and everything. But yeah, just like I said, in the back of our mind, it's important to start thinking about these things now, since that will really make these cities connected up and greatly improve the transportation of resources in between all these cities. So with that being said, those were the plans kind of for right now. So yeah, also though, speaking of, I mentioned that I haven't really been recording too many videos lately because I've been occupied with kind of the PC build and getting things transferred over. I like to keep a couple videos recorded like ahead of time, and as of right now I'm pretty much like caught up. So just so you guys know, I do read every single comment. I mean, right now I'm not getting a lot of comments because it's a pretty small channel, but nonetheless, I do like to read and at least acknowledge everybody's comments. And I've had some good suggestions so far. Somebody suggested that the third city could potentially be the result of like an abandoned military site, and there was like a military base around the area, and since that was pretty populated back in like during the Cold War, but since then has been abandoned, and so now the city is kind of run down, underfunded, and kind of a little bit not the safest area. I like that suggestion a lot. However, I just didn't want to put it here because I already had an idea of what I wanted to put here, but I'm keeping that in mind for the future, and I kind of have an idea of where I want to put that. So stay tuned. I love that suggestion, and it's definitely going to make its way into the region because it's super cool and super relevant to kind of what we're doing. And anybody else too that has any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, that's enough of me talking. Let's get building. All right, so the folks from the resource committee mapped out kind of where these ore deposits are sitting that are close to this area for development. And so one of them is just kind of to our north over here, and then the other one is to our southeast. And so I'm thinking that for right now, I want to develop this one that's kind of up in the north here because it's a little bit further away from the water table. And since this is still kind of an active river, although it's not super strong, there's still like a lot of lowlands here. And I feel like if we start, mining underground over here, we're going to get a little bit of some flooding issues, and we don't really have the funds to invest in some of the more sophisticated infrastructure that we would need to deal with that. So at least with here, we could kind of start making a little bit of a quarry, digging down and really getting into some of these resources here. So let's go ahead and get this quarry underway. I actually, want to take some inspiration from where I live. There's actually a huge limestone quarry that runs right between a couple towns, and there's part of the expressway that runs directly over the quarry, and it's pretty cool when you drive over it. You really get to see just how big and how deep it is. It's actually pretty insane that it goes down as far as it does, and definitely it's a little sketchy to drive over, but it's pretty cool to see. So want to do something similar here, so let's just go ahead and start getting this developed and kind of just see where it goes. I'm not too sure about how this is going to work just yet, but yep, just going to take it, just going to run with it, see what happens. Talk to you guys soon. All right, so here's kind of what I'm going for. I know the layout isn't super great, and I'm, not a fan of these, of this, dirt decal or whatever, this gravel decal, but I'm probably gonna go through and, maybe add a few more. Well, I guess this is the texture. I might go through and add some of the actual decals, like the ruined ones and everything, to make this look a little bit better and kind of blend, this into the rocks a little bit more. But I also have these, I forgot that I have I think I have these right now. Yeah, so I actually have these bigger rocks installed, like these things. And so I'm wondering if I should even go through, take the time and make sort of like a quarry wall at some point. But that I'll probably do off camera because it will take a minute and it's probably pretty boring. But yeah, this is a good start for now. So again, this isn't going to be a super huge operation right from the beginning. It's going to take some time and we'll expand as necessary. But for now, we do need to put down this this headquarters building, and I realized that I forgot to make this industry area, so I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. All right, we'll name that in a minute. Let's go ahead and place this down, and I kind of wanted to put it over here in this corner by the quarry, since we'll probably develop the quarry around this area, but at least this will be a good spot for the actual headquarters. And here we go. We have our first industry area. Just a couple of small buildings to get us started. Of course, nothing super crazy. We don't need it anyway, so that works out. We'll rename this as soon as I think of something to put. But if you have any suggestions as well, name suggestions for the industry, please let me know. But yeah, so what I want to do now is go ahead and plop down a couple of these buildings. We don't need anything crazy. Just, a couple of these small mines will probably do the trick. And I kind of want to put one of these closer to the wall here. So let me see if I can do that, and it might look a little bit better. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. That'll be cool. And then we can have, we're going to need one of these grinding mills. And I think this, I might put this, let's see, this area is actually a bit smaller than I thought. Yeah, the storage area is quite huge. And in the grand scheme of things, yeah, this is actually quite small for now. So I'm thinking either expand the quarry or expand, I might actually just put these processing buildings up kind of away from the quarry for now. So maybe I'll develop something a little bit up here, and that way we can, everything can come, that the mining will be done down here, and then we'll have the processing kind of in this other area. So let's do that. Why don't we kind of develop this up a little bit? And there we go. This is a start. I know they need some water and some power, and we're going to run that in. Actually, let's go ahead and do that right now. So we have these power lines, this power plant over here, and we're going to have to bring some power lines over here. So I'm thinking I might follow this tree line, bring it to this road, and then we'll kind of just come straight along this road to some degree and bring it over here. We'll probably set up like a little transformer station kind of on the corner here or something, just because it's going to be a pretty substantial industrial area. You know, it's going to need a lot of power. It definitely warrants its own substation. So I'm actually going to set up the infrastructure for that over here. And yeah, so I'm thinking some sort of substation right at the entrance is probably going to be a smart move. And we'll go ahead and bring some of these power lines over here. And I'm thinking 400. This is going to be a pretty significant distance, I'll say. So we'll probably have a substation for the city as well. So you know what? Let's actually build that too, and we'll have some different kinds of power lines coming through here. I think that might be, you know, just to kind of change things up a little bit, so we're not using just the same power line every time. It actually does make sense that they would that the wattage, or the volume of electricity that these power lines can carry is going to be different depending on, you know, where they actually go. So in this case, we're going to want these larger, more substantial power lines leading to this substation by the city, and then we'll have some of these maybe smaller ones kind of coming from the substation to the other substation. That makes sense to me. I could be totally wrong, because, you know, I don't like do this for a living or anything, but yeah, we'll see. And I think we're getting kind of, you know, there's quite a lot of power coming out of this area, and I think that actually this may warrant some substation expansion as well, you know, since this is kind of a pretty big complex at this point. So actually, let's go ahead and put a little bit of money in our power line, or our power station, and let's invest in some expansion to the grid. So perfect. Really starting to look like a proper power station. I can't believe I forgot to add those sooner. Okay, so yeah, we got that done. Let's go ahead and bring this power line so there's one of the lines, and then we'll take this other one here and kind of bring this out from this substation. And we'll just go along this road here and hook it up right there, like so. Cool. And that'll be good for that. So now we have some power running to the area, and now we're going to need some water because they're complaining of no water, which makes sense. So as much as I hate to, like I said before, run just one grid, I mean, it just helps kind of in the way that the city services are monitored by the game. You know, it helps to kind of establish just this one grid throughout the city. And of course, I'll probably add another pumping station over here, somewhere close, probably not right on the in the industrial area, because that will contaminate our water supply, which is something that we obviously don't want to do. But, you know, we're definitely going to need some more water infrastructure for this third city. And it's pretty crazy just how much money we spend just in these infrastructure investments. You know, this is obviously important, but kind of often an oversight when developing some of these parts of the city. You know, it is important to kind of remember that these things do need to be built. So yeah, always got to keep that in mind. But this, forgot to drag the pipes out to the actual areas that need them. Probably do that. So there we go. That should get things kicked off in the right direction. And I'm surprised this already has workers. I mean, I don't know where these people are coming from. It's come from pretty far. And yeah, here's some trucks bringing in some ore products to here, which, you know, I don't know what the best thing for this is, to have it on balanced or to have it on empty. I don't quite know the answer, but I usually keep it on balanced. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not super familiar with how the industry works in the game all the time. So yeah. Anyway, now that that is built and ready to go, it's time to actually start investing in the city itself. So the first thing that we're going to do is probably set up some infrastructure, you know, meaning some water, some wastewater treatment, water pumps, things like that. And I would like to just kind of go ahead and almost establish like a cool kind of a master plan here. You know, I never get the chance to do this too much, just kind of a blank slate. And you know, thinking about like things like parks and kind of city centers, things like that, you know, areas where people can go visit and kind of hang out and, you know, congregate. We have the room to do that now. So let's just go ahead and first start with some infrastructure. All right, but actually before we do this, just gotta glance over here real quick and deal with some of this. We have some problems going on that I kind of haven't dealt with in a minute here, and it seems like garbage is really piling up. And the problem is we have this landfill that is 99% full, this landfill that is emptying, and only one recycling center to process all of this. So I think what I'm gonna do is pause the game for a minute before more people leave my city, and let's just go ahead real quick and plop down a couple of more recycling centers. And I want to put them not just over here, but I'm going to put one more over here, and then I'll put a couple of these. We have a couple over here. I actually forgot that we had those, so we actually do have more than I thought. But I'm actually going to make another waste processing facility, since, you know, we're going to have this city over here that's a little bit farther away from everything, and then this city over here can also use something maybe a little bit closer than just this. So I'm actually going to put it right over here by the power plant, just because this is like a nice open area, you know, a lot of room to work with and a lot of room to grow. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down right now. I'm just going to start with this area, and then we'll probably reserve this area for a little while to make quite a significantly sized facility, you know, once we need to expand it. And also, I'm just going to go ahead and increase our budget a little bit for waste management. That way we have some more garbage trucks at our disposal. And this should hopefully solve some of the problems that we're facing around the city. So no big deal. We'll get that, you know, fixed pretty quickly. But now anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Let's go ahead back over here, and I'm just going to real quick build out some of this infrastructure for the city, and then check in with you guys in just a second. All right, and there we go. That is a little bit of a start to some of the infrastructure that is going to be around the city. Went ahead and paved some roads, and I even added a little bit more to this industrial area here, you know, just to kind of get it booming a little bit more. But yeah, so now with this being done, and I actually got to move this water plant here real quick, or the water pump, not the water plant, like the manufactured water. Okay, so we have that set up, and now I'm just going to go ahead and just make the city come to life. Going to plop down some buildings, zone out some commercial and everything, plop down some residential blocks. And this part here, I was thinking about reserving this area, and you know, I didn't want to put the roads down just yet because I wanted to kind of wait and put down some bigger residential, higher density complexes here. And right here, I actually am thinking about doing a commercial area, like a high density commercial area with some wall-to-wall buildings. And there's a cool content creator pack that I want to use for this, and I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. So I'm not going to expand out into this area yet. Going to save this probably for the next episode, and or whenever, you know, we expand the city a little bit more. But I at least want to get something put down in this part of the city, and then we can expand as needed. So let's go ahead and just get started with it and kind of see where it goes. You know, I'm not super sure of exactly what I'm going to do, but I have some ideas. So let's just go ahead and see what happens in the next, you know, 10 minutes or so here on in the episode. And then we'll probably be done after that because this has been a pretty busy episode. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. All right, and this is kind of a good start to what I wanted to do. So, we have some pretty high density developments. Everything's pretty planned out. Not too many suburbs happening right now, and I'm gonna keep it that way for a little bit. I'm gonna kind of bring this high density out a little bit more, and I did want to establish some kind of open area though. So I thought this high school would have a nice opportunity to, provide some sort of kind of park that takes up a couple city blocks, kind of a break from the more dense areas. And then this spot here will also kind of be similar to this, maybe some more open housing developments, like something a little more sprawled out. I'm thinking, something like that would fit well over here. But yeah, this is a commercial that I was going for, kind of this wall-to-wall style, these higher density buildings. And then this spot I'm saving for some even denser residential areas. So some taller buildings, kind of some high rises maybe, or not skyscrapers, but a little bit taller than these, just kind of something a little bit different. And then over here we'll probably have some more suburbs and everything once we approach kind of this industrial area. So for now, I think this is a pretty good spot to call it an episode. I have actually done quite a bit, yeah, I'm satisfied with this. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys also enjoy the better frame rate that I'm getting. I mean, this is just super smooth right now, and my computer is not screaming at me for this. So everything's going pretty well, and I'm really happy with how this all turned out, and I'm really excited to continue the series now that I can actually run this game a little bit better. So hope you all tune in. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, and I hope to see you guys all in the next episode. Let me know of any comments or suggestions, and I'll be happy to read them and take them into consideration. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. See ya.